the last time you see her. I've not heard Vulcan do a howl like that for a while. That was a cracker. She's been flown today for us by Kev Rumins in the left-hand seat, Bill Ramsey in the right-hand seat, and the air electronics officer, the third member of the crew, Phil Davis, sitting behind them. So, here she is in her final season. A British aeroplane that represents the very best imaginative, thinking out of the box virtues of aeronautical design and engineering. She is, indeed, the rock star of the aviation world. She's the single most popular aeroplane in the country, and you all love her so much that you've given more than £22 million to get her to the state she's in today. And she's been flying now for 8 years since she came back into the air, having left the Air Force in 1993. She's also, incidentally, 55 years old this year, so 55 and 8 makes 558. One of those funny little bits of serendipity. Certainly got the howlers on today, and that's the sound of 4 Rolls-Royce Bristol Olympus engines, about 16,500 pounds of static thrust from each of them, 65,000 pounds in total. They're putting the wheels down now, not that she's going to land, but we get to see her fly by with that undercarriage down. 18 wheels in total, count them as they come by, 16 on the main undercarriage and 2 on the nose wheel. Yep. The RAF got its first Vulcan in 1956, and of course she'd been designed to carry the British nuclear deterrent during the Cold War, and I can remember only too well, around about that era, we really did believe that all of our lives and our civilization could end in nuclear war. Vulcan was one of the aircraft that stopped that happening. And in fact, last year, it was 25 years since the fall of the Berlin Wall and the collapse of European communist regimes, which eventually ended the Cold War. Here she is, wheels down. Actually of a very similar era to the Hunter, whose very sad demise happened at shore a week ago today. But she is not too badly affected by the restrictions that have been put on the flight of these type of aircraft. She's just had to change her flying display very slightly, and you won't see her do a zoom climb at the end. But she's doing pretty much the same other things that she's always done. I mentioned that it's her final season. That's because 3 technical authority companies have decided they can't support her anymore. That's BAE Systems, Rolls-Royce and Marshall Aerospace. Carrying 21 1,000-pound conventional bombs down to the Vulcan Bomber. That plane on the Vulcan Islands, when they were occupied by the Vulcan 18 air-to-air refuelings, the 7,500-mile round trip. That's about the same distance as from here to Bali. And it was flown by Martin Withers, who is now the chief pilot of the Vulcan for the Sky Trust, but not flying this aircraft today. So as I said, those three companies have decided to cease their support, which means that she becomes illegal without civil certificate. It's nothing to do with lack of money or even lack of fares. It's just that she needs that support. Now, somebody I didn't mention, apart from the crew, somebody not on board today, Taft Stone, the crew chief and the chief engineer. He and his team of 7 daily work miracles to keep this lovely old lady flying.
Now, presumably, we're coming to the end of the season. We're going to Doncaster, where the educational trust element will be carrying on.
Indeed, Project Etna will happen at Robin Hood Airport, Doncaster, Sheffield, as it's snappily known, which is where she lives now. We had hoped she was going to fly to the end of next year when a new building would be ready to become an aviation academy and a
Welcome to my vids. I know this isn't gaming related, but this is the final flight of the Vulcan Bomber. Enjoy, my friends.
Fast taxiing up and down the runway, but she, of course, will not be able to fly. Project Etna is full, and so is the workshop of John Vulcan. Say that, yes. We hope it will be very successful. You've been talking earlier about how important it is to encourage young people into the aviation industry and into engineering as a whole. Well, that's exactly what Project Etna is going to do. Because Vulcan does have an amazing effect on young people. I've seen a 10-year-old say, is that a new stealth bomber? You know, an aeroplane that dates from, well, only 11 years after the Lancaster. First Vulcan flew in 1952, 11 years after the Lancaster first flew. Extraordinary.
Indeed, and also the other thing, talking about engineering, it is actually worth mentioning that there's not enough women in engineering. Girls, there's some great opportunities out there and really fascinating stuff to do. So have a word with your careers people, talk to them about it, it's good stuff. And as we said, the Vulcan is going to be dedicated to promoting exactly that sort of thing.
Now I suspect that even with this changed flying display, I suspect this is probably the last pass. So if you're not going to be going to another air show this year, then this is the time to come back in front of us again because she's going to depart, as far as I know, off to our left. So this may not actually have been the last pass. But I think it's rather important to remember a wonderful saying from the great Dr. Seuss, who wrote The Cat in the Hat. He said, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Volunteers will be very happy to see you there. They'll tell you all sorts of things about Vulcan. Go there, join in, get involved, And I should say that most of the volunteers in the Vulcan village today were at Shoreham a week ago. They're still pretty shocked, but yet they've come here today to support Vulcan. So please do go and see the Vulcan village.
Thank you, my friends, for joining me on this emotional moment.
Thank you very much for that, Sean.
I know this isn't a gaming vid, but I thought it was important to bring it to you. The final flight of the Vulcan Bomber. What a day. Take care, my friends.